Alright, so there are a couple more moves I want to talk about before we move on to the wall game. The first one I'll talk about is down forward 4. I was reminded of these by the chat, so thanks chat. Down forward 4 is 12 frames, so it's pretty fast. The problem is it has really shitty range and really shitty tracking. So I basically just use this for a kill mid, like the safe mid that I'm going to use to get the kill. It's a little bit faster than down forward 1, but basically, I mean, that's really what you can use it for. You can use it for a fast poke mid, but on hit, it's really difficult to continue just because of the way it hits, the positioning, and the way it pushes out. It doesn't give enough frames for you to do something like down forward 4 into, like, I don't know, Shining Wizard or something. It just doesn't really quite work out well enough. Let's see. Up forward 3+4 is kind of a shitty move, but for some reason the chat insisted on me talking about it. It looks ridiculous. I don't even know why the opponent flips like that when you hit them with it. I think this is actually a wrestling move. I think this is probably some kind of a wrestling move, but it's a piece of shit. One use for it is that it'll hit on the ground, which is okay, but it's not your highest damaging, ground hitting move. But you can tech roll when you hit the ground, so it's kind of like Nina's forward 4 or Dragonoff's 3+4 or whatever. So when you hit the ground, if you tap any punch button at the correct timing right when you hit the ground, you will tech into the foreground, and then a kick will tech into the background with a punch and tech into the foreground with a kick. It hits on the ground, so if you do hit on the ground with it, you can use the tech roll to recover fast enough to continue your offense. So that's one use for it, but it's really not that impressive in my opinion. I mean, it's just one of those moves where you do it every now and then to make your opponent think, like, this character has more moves than the moves that he's using. So I should be a little more careful about what I'm comfortable with on defense, because he may just throw some bullshit out like that and it may hit. Another thing that I guess I should mention about this, which is really like a far-fetched use for it, is if you notice the first part of it kind of looks like a hop kick, but it doesn't hit. So if you see that kick right there, that kick whiffs, when if that were a hop kick, it would have hit like that. So what you can do is, if your opponent is really expecting a hop kick, you can fuck with their timing with that. But overall, I mean, you don't get anything on counter hit, you don't get anything on regular hit, you just get wake up. So it's kind of like, not that useful. What is, however, useful is Frankensteiner. Now, if you I wonder if this breaks through the ground. I don't know if it does, because I always tag off of it. It doesn't break through the ground. So Frankensteiner technically is a special mid, I believe. So what that means is, let me go ahead and record it to show you guys. So if you see a Frankensteiner, you have enough time to duck, and you want to duck for it, because if you stand, even if you block, it will catch you into a throw, and that does some decent damage. But what's even more dangerous is, if it connects, the opponent can tag off of it, and the tag yields free damage afterwards. So basically, the moral of the story is, if you see them flip over like that, you better fucking duck, or it's gonna hurt. And what you can do is, you can bring in your next character and do a stomp. That's totally guaranteed. There's nothing they could do to get out of that. If you have, let's say, like King and Armor King, you can do the People's Elbow. Oops, how the fuck do you do that now? Oh, there it is. They changed the command for it. It's down 2+3 now. So that's something that's guaranteed. You can also do ground throws off of Frankensteiner. So with Armor King coming in, that's not effective, as I mentioned before, because his ground throws were nerfed in this game. But for King, let's say I'm Armor King and I'm bringing in King, that's pretty good. He could do a ground throw. So you bring him in, he's gonna grab the legs and take him home with him. You gotta time it right though. There we go. And so they can break those ground throws, but they can't get up to avoid them. Let's see. Where was I? We were talking about some of the moves that I forgot. Oh yeah, Sweet Chin Music is one that I forgot to mention, and it's really important. It gives you a free ground throw on hit. Now the reason this ground throw is more important is because it is a back turn ground throw, and a back turn ground throw against the wall, which I'll show you right now, can yield some good shit. So if the wall is at a certain angle and you throw them with the ground throw that's 2 break, so back turn, I'm sorry, not back turn, down back 2+4. If the wall is at the right angle, like around there, and you do that, you're going to wall push them into the wall with their back. And if you wall push them into the wall with their back, you get a free shoulder. Now, I know this is wall game, but this is one of the primary uses of this move. If that wall splats, which it does sometimes, you get a free shoulder. Now, this move itself is a high homing move, and I think it's +1 on block. So, what you can do is you could do like slash kick and then slash kick, right? So double slash kick, and then your opponent's like, man, fuck this, I don't want to block double slash kicks. So then you do slash kick, and then you do forward, forward 3 when they start walking around your slash kick. So it's pretty solid for that. Considering the fact that it's a full homing move and it's plus on block and it knocks down on hit, it's pretty fast and has good range. So I think forward, forward 3 is definitely a very, very important move for closing space. You should use it for tracking. You should use it for an opponent who doesn't randomly duck if you want to open up your offense with the +1 on block. And you can also continue, you know, like you can like if they block it, you could just continue your offense, and it's really, really not bad. It's a solid move. Let's see, what other moves am I forgetting with this guy? Oh yeah, down forward 3+4. This is his other homing move. I don't use it very often because it's so slow. It doesn't high crush at all, and it doesn't really do enough for me to think it's that worth doing. I mean, you get some wake ups if you run up, but it's not really that impressive. However, it is safe, and it is mid, and it is a homing move. So it would be pretty stupid to completely ignore it. It knocks down on regular hit, and you get decent wake-ups. Near the wall, as I mentioned before, you get changed wake-ups because of, you know, the angle. And you can do some stuff, but because I don't really use it, I don't really know how to use it, to be honest. I don't think it's that effective. I know there are some really interesting setups off of it, but you know, it's not really my thing. So personally, I don't really use it that much. There are other moves that are faster, that are mid, and that do more in case they counter hit or whatever, that I think are more valuable than this move. This move is a little bit slow for my taste, but still usable on occasion. I'm pretty sure that covers all of his regular moves, so I'm gonna move on in this same video to his wall game. So let me reposition myself to the wall. Battle position, wall hit. So when you have your opponent pinned to the wall with Armor King, basically your main goal, just like with every other character, is the wall splat. You want the wall splat, and he happens to have a ton of moves that do that. Now, when some characters, when you're pressuring at the wall, you want to be really, really close, but for Armor King, you still want to maintain that range that I told you guys about in the first part of this tutorial. You still want to be at this range. The reason for that is basically this whole time I've been telling you guys about all these really great moves that he has that you can use when you are at this range, and then you backdash one time and then you punish. So you still want to stay at this range. If they whiff something small, you can do something like back 3, which is really effective for a wall splat at this range. It's really good, and then you could do all kinds of shit, you know, great wall combos, tons of damage. So back 3 is a very important tool. Forward 2-1, extremely important tool for wall game, because you can hit confirm it, as I mentioned earlier, and you can do that technique where you mash forward 2-2, as you see right there, and even if it's blocked, the opponent will be hesitant to do anything because they're greedy, you know, these greedy ass motherfuckers, they want to duck the high. So if you do forward 2-2, they're going to hear what they thought was the one, and they're going to duck, giving you all kinds of more pressure at the wall, you know, which is really good. Forward, forward, 4, of course, wall splats. Forward, forward, 2, wall splats. And there's basically your primary tool, your primary range at the wall is right here, and your primary tools are back 3 and forward 2-1 for wall splat. Also, do not forget about shoulder. Shoulder becomes really valuable at the wall because anything that's minus 14 becomes a 14. You know, you can wall splat with it, so it becomes a launcher against anything that's minus 14. So that's really important too. Now, I think that some of the most important parts of his wall game are basically pressuring the same way you do away from the wall, but with your throws. Now, giant swing, the problem with giant swing is it takes them away from the wall, like that. But when your back is to the wall, you should always be threatening with this move. Not even back to the wall. I mean, anywhere within this cone-shaped range. Like this range I'm at, anywhere in this range, if you're standing anywhere in this whole fucking place, you should be threatening with giant swings all day long. And the reason is because if you throw them into the wall, it does 70 points of untechable damage, and it's super good. Opponents do not like that shit one bit. So giant swing becomes extremely dangerous near the wall, and that is a major part of your wall game. I mean, I said it so many times, dude, from the beginning of this tutorial. Giant swing is the most important. It's the most important move he has, I think. It ties everything together. You have to be able to do it from crouch when you need it. You have to be able to do it when you need it against the wall. Let me give you guys an example. So let's say you are playing against a Fang, okay? If you're playing against Fang and he does forward 4-3, or he does anything, any fucking character that you have in the game that does anything that's minus 10, 11, or 12. If your back is to the wall, and you block something that's 10 frames, that's minus 10 frames, you should always consider punishing that with a giant swing, because the giant swing itself is 10 frames to impact. So when you block something that's minus 10, that means they have to break it. And most opponents, even really good opponents, are not ready to break a throw when they're expecting to be punished. So really important to use giant swing in those situations. When the wall is nearby, it's just too valuable not to do it. Let's see. What else is important for his wall game? So, the thing that I think makes Armor King so unique and good in this game is that he has the natural ability to beat Tag Crash. Not only can he beat Tag Crash, he can prevent you from doing it with his ground throws. Now, obviously any character with ground throws can do this, but with Armor King, what you can do is you can use his combos and end his combos with ground throws, picking them up at the wall. And I'll show you a few examples of that. Let's see here. I have to change my position. So let's say you're starting with whatever character. A good partner for Armor King is always a character that can tag off of... that's going to be kind of annoying. But a good partner for Armor King is a character that can tag off of his regular combos, like Fang. So basically, I'm just going to bring him downstairs to show you guys this. So basically what you do is you launch them, and at the end of your combo, you can tag in Armor King. And it didn't work out because I can't position reset, so this is starting to get annoying. But let's see if I could do a combo anyway. Maybe I'll just do a wall combo. I already forgot the wall combo. Fuck. Anyway, the point is that you can fucking do... I'll keep it simple. At the end of your combos, you could do a ground throw. And his down back 2+4 ground throw is the one that is really fucking dangerous, because it will pick you back up and it will hit into the wall. So in this situation, that ground throw is, though it's throw breakable, it's unavoidable. So if you wall splat and you do that ground throw, picks them up back into the wall, which is +12. So that means that you get a free back 1-2 if that wall splats. Now, when you get that back 1-2, you're at +5 with your opponent's back to the wall again. So you just did 97 points. And this is just no tag assault. This is just a regular combo. Really, really simple, but just so much damage. And the back 1-2 is unscaled. Even though it's part of the combo, it's unscaled because they're standing. So it's really, really good. And the way to mix that up is the 2-1. The down back 1+3. So basically your mix up is between down back 2+4, which will do that, and then down back 1+3, which will do that. The problem with the 1 version is it takes them away from the wall. However, it's still a shitload of damage, so it's scary enough for your opponent to break it on occasion. So it's really, really important to do this. The reason it's so important to do this is if I, let's say, did a combo to get them to the wall, and if this stage fucking allowed me to do a combo that let them get to the wall, I wish I could show you that, but I didn't know this stage had a floor break. Let me see if I could show you that. So let's pretend like I bound here. This is post bound. Fuck. Right here. I'm starting to get pissed. This is the hardest part of doing tutorials for sure. There you go. So at the end of your combos, you bring Armor King in. No matter what the combo, if you bring Armor King in and if you jab on an airborne like against the wall, low like that, you get the ground throw at the end of any combo. So what that does is if your opponent has a tag crash, they can't tag crash. They can't escape that situation with a tag crash. So if they're trying to get out, you just pick them up, and now they don't have a tag crash available to them, and their back is to the wall. So what will often happen is you will hit them with this shit. They're almost dead. You pick them up, you hit them with this shit, and basically your next mix-up is the mix-up for the kill. You can kill with this character, with Armor King, in a walled stage. You can kill with him really, really easily. If you are able to land with the 2-break ground throw, I mean, it's like a 50-50 for their life. So it's really, really important to, at least on occasion, attempt it. Especially if it's not for the kill. If it's for the kill, of course, do whatever combo you have that does damage. But if it's not for the kill, I think it's really, really important to try this on occasion because of how useful it is for eliminating tag crash from the equation. Now, even if they break it, I think you can set it to throw break. Can you do that? Advanced settings, throw escape. Yeah, you can set it to throw break. So let's say this guy has rage right now. If he throw breaks, even if he throw breaks, you're still in really good shape. Who gives a fuck? Let him throw break. Look at what just happened. You throw break, they can't tag crash, so they stood up. They can't tag crash. And their back is to the fucking wall, and you could just fucking do whatever the hell you want, like you just put them back into a fucked up situation. Even though you failed, technically they broke out of the throw, and you failed in your attempt to kill them. Uh-oh, battery for controller 3 is low. Anyway, so basically this is a win-win-win situation. Even if they break it, they can't tag crash, and it's really, really good. I highly recommend this for on occasion, eliminating the possibility of a tag crash. I do also want to show you guys something else. So because that ground throw, sometimes it will not wall splat after you pick them up. And let me try and get you guys a visual aid of that. Oops. Oh, this will definitely do it. Nope. Oh, here we go. Damn it, throw break's still on. Anyway, sometimes you'll push them into the wall, but it will not wall splat. So let's see if I can show you what that will look like. funny. When you want it to happen, it never happens. But when you're in a fucking tournament match, it's going to happen every time. Anyway, you can imagine what it looks like. Basically, he pushes you the way he does normally, except it doesn't touch the wall. In which case, back 1-2 is blockable because the wall never happens. So, in that situation, if you pick them up with a ground throw from like an angle like this, it's not worth trying back 1-2. You get used to it. The more you play the character, the more you'll kind of learn the angles. And if he's hit like a straight wall splat like that, like this probably won't hit the wall. Yeah, see? So if you hit at an angle like that, you're not going to hit the wall with this. And basically, you have to do a throw mix-up or a 50-50 because back 1-2 is not going to hit. But the good thing is, they don't know that. So they're going to be holding back, hoping that you fuck up the back 1-2. But in reality, you know the back 1-2 is not going to hit, and so you're not even going to do a back 1-2. What you're going to do is either a throw mix-up or some other pressure or whatever. So that's why I think the overall ground throw game at the wall is really, really useful. What else is really important at the wall? I think forward 2-1 is just basically the most important too. This is hit confirmable, so you could just chill out right here. If they stick anything out, if they act a fool for a second, forward 2, hit confirm 1, and they're done. And then they're up in the So that's really important. Oh yeah, so I should mention, in order to connect a ground throw off of a regular bound, you do down forward 1. But in order to connect a ground throw off of like, you know, a tag assault combo, I don't know if I know one with this team. Yeah. There we go. Oh, that one should work. Yeah, that'll work. So you gotta find the right tag assault combo in order to get the ground throw afterwards. But basically, off of a bind, you want to use a down forward 1. And off of a combo with more hits than just regular bind by himself, regular Armor King bind by itself, you're going to want to use a standing jab into a ground throw. And that's the way that you know, that will work in combos. I'm pretty sure I covered just about everything for the wall that's really basic and important. I hope I'm not missing anything, but I guess I'll do a questions and answers after this, and hopefully the chat will have something to tell me that I might have forgotten. And yeah, so I'm gonna have a cigarette.